Life is simple. Success is simple. Failure is simple. But the decisions that lead to one or the other, that's where it gets complicated. I want you to think about this for a moment. Every day, every hour, we're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to a better life. The other, to disappointment, regret, and sorrow. It's not the big choices that separate winners from losers. It's the small ones. The ones you think don't matter, but they do. Oh, they do. You see, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. And failure is simply a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. The difference is subtle, almost invisible. But over time, it becomes a canyon. Now let's dive deep into it. Winners aren't born, they're made. One decision at a time. Losers aren't cursed. They simply drift, one missed decision at a time. Winners choose discipline. Losers choose ease. Winners do what's necessary. Losers do what's comfortable. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And that bridge is built one plank at a time. One day at a time. It's waking up early when you feel like sleeping. It's making that extra phone call when you feel like quitting. It's reading that one more page when you feel like turning on the television. Little things. But little things make a big difference. Because while a loser is looking for a way out, the winner is looking for a way forward. You must become aware. You must realize that your life is the harvest of your daily habits. Winners ask themselves, is what I'm doing today taking me closer to my dreams? Or further away? Losers never ask. They just drift. They just hope. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is a wish. And a wish without action leads to despair. I once heard it said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Winners stop wishing. They start working. Losers keep wishing. They keep waiting. Imagine two planes taking off from Los Angeles. One is headed to New York, the other just 2 degrees off course. At first, you can't tell the difference. 2 degrees. Barely noticeable. But after hours of flying, one plane lands in New York, the other ends up hundreds of miles away. Lost. That's life. Small disciplines every day, you land where you want to be. Small errors in judgment every day, you land somewhere you never intended. Success is not a single cataclysmic event. You don't fail overnight. Instead, failure is a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. Remember that. Life whispers. It doesn't shout. It gives you gentle nudges. Eat the salad or the donut. Make the call or skip it. Write the plan or watch TV. Each time you choose, you're casting a vote. A vote for your future success, or a vote for your future failure. Winners vote with discipline. Losers vote with neglect. And let me tell you something important. Neglect starts as an infection. It starts small, but left unchecked, it becomes a disease. A disease that steals your dreams, your confidence, and eventually your future. Neglect starts as an infection and becomes a disease. Don't let it happen. So, what separates the winners from the losers? It's not intelligence. It's not talent. It's not even opportunity. It's choices. Tiny, seemingly insignificant choices, made every day. And the good news, you have the power to choose, right now, today. The major key to your better future is you. You decide if you'll walk the path of discipline, or the path of regret. Winners choose discipline. Losers choose regret. And it starts today. What you think about, you become. A success, my friend, doesn't begin with actions. It begins with thoughts. Everything you have in your life today started with a thought. And the difference between winners and losers is found right here in their minds. You see, the mind is a powerful tool. A tool that can either work for you or against you. It's how you think that determines where you end up. Your thoughts shape your attitudes. And your attitudes, in turn, shape your actions. Winners think differently. And I mean differently in a way that truly matters. Winners approach life with the belief that anything is possible. They see the world as full of opportunities. They look for solutions, not problems. They believe in progress, not perfection, and they believe in themselves. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. They attract success because they first believe they are worthy of it. They believe they can overcome obstacles. They know that setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. Winners have a long-term vision. They understand that the road to success is paved with challenges, and they embrace it. They don't just work hard, they work smart. They focus on personal growth, always striving to be better, to become more. When life gets tough, winners dig deeper. They become stronger in their resolve, and they keep moving forward. On the other hand, losers approach life with a mindset of scarcity. They see problems where others see potential. They focus on the things they don't have instead of the things they can create. They look for reasons why something can't be done, rather than how it can be. Losers don't believe in themselves. They believe success is for other people. They think they are just unlucky, or that the world is against them. They blame circumstances, they blame people, they blame everything except themselves. But you see, my friends, as long as you continue to blame external forces for your situation, you'll remain stuck. It's only when you take responsibility for your life that you can begin to change it. And that starts with your mindset. It's not what happens that determines your future. It's what you do about what happens. When life gets tough, losers look for the quickest escape. They give up, they quit, they make excuses. They believe success is a matter of luck, something you either have or don't. But success is not magic. Success is mindset. Belief is the key. It's what separates winners from losers. Winners believe in their own abilities. They believe that no matter what happens, they can make it through. They trust in the process, and they have the patience to see it through. Losers, on the other hand, let doubt creep in. They question their own abilities. They focus on the fear of failure, and that fear paralyzes them. Winners understand this truth. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. They surround themselves with positive, driven people. They seek out those who will challenge them, support them, and encourage them, because they know that the right environment helps shape the right mindset. Pay attention to your self-talk. Winners speak to themselves with encouragement and self-belief. They say, I can do this. I am capable. I will find a way. They feed their minds with empowering thoughts. Losers, however, speak in terms of limitations. They say, I'm not good enough. I'm not lucky enough. I can't do this. They fill their minds with doubts and negativity. You see, your thoughts shape your feelings, and your feelings shape your actions. If you think you can't do something, you won't. But if you believe you can, you'll find a way. So, what's the difference between the mindset of a winner and a loser? It's simply, winners see opportunities where losers see obstacles. Winners take responsibility for their lives. Winners believe in themselves, and they surround themselves with people who believe in them too. The major key to your better future is you. If you want to be a winner, start with your mindset. Start with the belief that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And remember, it's not about luck. It's about the way you think, the way you act, and the way you grow. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. You see, life isn't changed in one grand moment. It's changed in the countless moments that make up each day. Winners understand this. They understand that success isn't about one big leap. It's about the small steps taken consistently over time. And those steps are built on one thing: habits. Habits are the silent architects of our futures. They shape who we are and, more importantly, who we become. But it's not just any habit. It's the right habits. And here's the true thing. Winners have better habits than losers. Winners don't become winners overnight. They don't stumble upon success by accident. No, they build it day by day, one small action at a time. The most powerful force in their lives is their daily routine. Think about your morning. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you hit the snooze button and roll over? Or do you get up with purpose, ready to seize the day? If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Winners take control of their mornings. They start the day with intention. They read, they exercise, they reflect. They feed their minds, their bodies, and their souls. They make small but powerful choices that set the tone for the rest of their day. Losers, on the other hand, don't control their routines. Their habits control them. They let the world dictate their actions, drifting from one moment to the next with no clear sense of purpose. And over time, that lack of discipline and direction adds up. The winner's routine is intentional. They set aside time for the things that matter most. They have a clear vision, and their daily habits are aligned with that vision. They know that their habits will shape their future, so they build them carefully, and they protect them fiercely. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. It's the small disciplines, reading for 20 minutes a day, taking 30 minutes to exercise, setting goals for the day, that compound into extraordinary results. Winners understand that it's these simple, consistent actions that will lead them to greatness. They don't skip days. They don't let distractions derail them. And here's the beautiful thing, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Now, I want you to ask yourself something. What habits are you building right now? Are they habits that are helping you grow? Or are they habits that are holding you back? Losers often build habits of procrastination, avoidance, and complacency. They put things off. They wait for the right time. They make excuses, saying, "I'll do it tomorrow." But tomorrow never comes. Winners build habits that move them forward. They choose progress over comfort. They choose discipline over excuses. And they choose action over procrastination. The cost of discipline is always less than the price of regret. Every day you delay making better choices is another day you fall behind. Every day you waste, you're giving up ground. Winners understand this, and they never stop pushing forward. Building the right habits doesn't require some massive, complicated plan. No, it's about simplicity. Start small, but start today. Pick one area of your life to improve. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your finances, maybe it's your knowledge. Take one small action each day in that area. Then repeat it. Do it again and again. And as you build that habit, you'll see the results start to show up. But here's the thing, it's going to take time. You won't see immediate results. You won't see a drastic change overnight. But keep going. Winners know that success is the result of compounding effort. It's the small daily actions that add up to massive success. Now, on the flip side, let's talk about the habits that hold people back. When you neglect your habits, they start to work against you. And over time, those poor habits will build up, leading to a life of frustration and regret. Poor habits create poor results. If you're constantly hitting the snooze button, procrastinating, or giving in to distractions, you'll never get anywhere. You'll always feel like you're spinning your wheels, stuck in place. And this is where the losers are separated from the winners. If you're not willing to pay the price of discipline, then you will pay the price of regret. The losers are comfortable in their bad habits. They convince themselves that it's okay to skip today, to put things off. But they don't realize that every time they do, they're digging a hole have to climb out of later. So, what's the hidden separator between winners and losers? It's their habits. Winners have habits that push them forward, that fuel their success, and that align with their goals. They're intentional about what they do every single day. Losers, on the other hand, let their habits dictate their lives. They react to life instead of creating it. They don't realize that they're small. Poor decisions add up over time. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Choose your habits wisely. They will shape your life, and in the end, they will be the difference between where you are now and where you want to be. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Failure. That one word that strikes fear into so many hearts. But let me tell you something. Failure isn't the enemy. The enemy is how we respond to it. The difference between winners and losers isn't that winners never fail. Oh no, winners fail just as much as anyone else. But what they do after they fail, that's what sets them apart. You see, failure is not a dead end. It's a lesson. It's a stepping stone. Failure is simply the process of learning. It's the price of growth. And winners embrace failure because they understand it's a necessary part of the journey. So, let's take a closer look. What do winners do when failure knocks on their door? And what do losers do when they face the same challenges? When failure comes calling, losers often retreat. They don't understand that failure is a part of success. They see it as the end of the road, the final blow. They make excuses, pointing fingers at everyone and everything except themselves. They blame bad luck, bad timing, bad people. The problem is never the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. Winners, on the other hand, don't blame. They don't point fingers. They take responsibility because they know that responsibility is the key to growth. But losers, they get bitter. They get angry. They wallow in their failure, sometimes for weeks or months, and sometimes for years. They let it define them. Winners, however, don't let failure define them. They use failure as fuel. Winners respond to failure differently. They don't run from it. They don't hide from it. They don't let it crush them. Instead, they embrace it. They acknowledge it, learn from it, and then move on. It's not the failure that's important. It's the lesson you learn from it. When winners fail, they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? What did I do wrong? How can I improve next time? They don't see failure as a reflection of their worth or their ability. They understand that failure is temporary, and the lessons they learn from it are permanent. Winners understand that the most important thing in life is not how many times you fail. It's how many times you get back up. They don't let failure keep them down. They let it build them up. They turn their mistakes into motivation. Let's make one thing crystal clear: failure is not only inevitable, it's necessary. Without failure, there's no growth. Without failure, there's no progress. If you've never failed, it means you've never tried. If you've never failed, it means you've never stepped outside your comfort zone. And if you've never stepped outside your comfort zone, then you're not living. The challenge is not to set a goal, but to follow through on that goal when things get tough. Winners embrace the challenge. They know that failure is part of the game. It's not something to fear, it's something to accept and learn from. They push through it. They go beyond it, and that's why, in the end, they win. The road to success is paved with setbacks, mistakes, and lessons learned. And that road is long. It's winding. And yes, it's filled with failure. But winners understand that failure is not the end, it's the beginning. You may fail. You may stumble. You may fall down. But what matters is whether or not you get back up. What matters is whether or not you learn from it. When you fail, you don't fail forever. You fail temporarily. And you have to learn to get back up and try again. So, if you're struggling right now, if you're facing challenges, remember it's not over. You're not defeated. You're simply in the middle of the process of becoming who you were meant to be. Winners don't give up after one failure. They don't give up after 10 failures. They keep going. They know that it's only when you keep going that you eventually break through. The more you fail, the more you win. Because every failure is a lesson that brings you closer to success. A failure teaches you resilience. It teaches you determination. It teaches you the power of perseverance. It teaches you humility. And it teaches you what you are truly made of. And when you've learned those lessons, you become unstoppable. One of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life is to change how you view failure. Stop seeing failure as a negative experience and start seeing it as the greatest teacher you'll ever have. When you fail, it's simply an opportunity to reflect. What went wrong? What can be done better next time? What will you do differently? And then you keep going. You don't let it defeat you. You let it strengthen you. Remember, the most successful people in the world are often the ones who failed the most. The difference is that they refused to quit. They refused to give up on their dreams, and they kept going no matter what. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. The courage to continue. That's the separator. So, what's the big test in life? It's not how many times you succeed. It's how many times you get up after failure. The true measure of success isn't in avoiding failure. It's in how you respond to it. Do you learn from it, or do you let it define you? Do you keep moving forward, or do you give up? Winners respond to failure with action. Losers respond with excuses. Winners learn, grow, and become better. Losers stay stuck in the past, defeated by their mistakes. Failure is not the enemy. It's your response to failure that will define your future. Choose to learn, choose to grow, and choose to keep moving forward. Failure is simply the price you pay for success. And if you embrace it, you'll pay that price and move past it. You'll rise stronger, better, and more capable than ever before. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their futures in someone else's hands, but not you. Purpose. That single word, it holds the power to transform everything. It's the ultimate difference between those who win and those who don't. It's the foundation upon which your life can be built, or the reason why your life remains stagnant. You see, it's not enough to simply exist. We're all given time, energy, and opportunity. But what we do with those gifts, that's what matters. So, I ask you this, what's your purpose, you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? If you don't have a purpose, then you're not living, you're just passing time. Now, let's talk about what happens when you finally discover your purpose. And more importantly, how living with purpose sets you apart from everyone else. The winners in life don't just have goals, they have a purpose. A reason they get up every day. A reason they push through obstacles. A reason they keep going even when the road gets tough. Purpose fuels you. It energizes you. It gives you the strength to keep going when others have quit. It's the inner fire that ignites the passion for greatness. When you live with purpose, your life is aligned with something greater than just your own desires. It's connected to a mission, a bigger picture. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. When you love what you're doing, when you have a purpose, success becomes inevitable. You don't chase success. Success chases you. But those without purpose, they drift. They wander aimlessly. They waste time. They give up easily because there's nothing pulling them forward. No reason to keep going. No clear vision of what they want to achieve. Living with purpose is a shift in mindset. It's a conscious decision to live for something bigger than yourself. It's about identifying what truly matters to you and going after it with everything you've got. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. The purpose gives you direction. Without direction, you're just walking in circles. You're just taking one step after another, but going nowhere. When you have purpose, each step is intentional. Each move you make is aligned with your bigger vision for your life. And the beauty of living with purpose is that it doesn't matter how small your steps are. As long as you're moving in the right direction, you're on your way. Purpose keeps you grounded, focused, and clear on your journey. But here's the truth. Without purpose, you'll never go as far as you're capable of going. You'll always find yourself getting sidetracked, distracted by the small things, by things that don't matter. When life hits you hard, and believe me, it will, purpose is what will keep you going. Purpose builds resilience. It strengthens your resolve. The bigger the WH, the easier the HO. When your why is big enough, when your purpose is clear enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. You'll rise above every obstacle, every challenge, every failure, and every setback. Because you know that your purpose is bigger than any temporary setback. It's bigger than any moment of doubt. When you have purpose, you're not easily swayed. When others fall, you stand firm. When others quit, you keep going. Why? Because your purpose gives you the strength to endure. Purpose provides the energy and drive you need to push through the tough times. Without purpose, you'd crumble. You'd throw in the towel. You'd give up at the first sign of trouble. But winners, they don't quit. Winners keep going no matter what. Now you might be thinking, I don't know what my purpose is. How do I find it? Let me tell you, finding your purpose isn't a one-time event. It's a journey. It's a process of discovery. It's something that evolves over time. Purpose often comes from your experiences, your passions, your dreams, and yes, your failures. The key is to stay curious. Explore what lights you up. Find out what excites you. What makes you feel alive. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Start somewhere. Start small. Do something that feels purposeful. And as you continue along your journey, you'll find that purpose becomes clearer and clearer. Living with purpose is about knowing what truly matters to you and not being afraid to go after it. It's about choosing a path and walking it, no matter how hard the road may be. It's about staying focused on your why and never letting go. What separates winners from losers in life? It's the clarity of purpose. It's the drive to pursue something bigger than themselves. It's the commitment to a mission that matters. Winners don't just exist. They live with purpose. They wake up each day with intention. They have a direction. They have a reason for everything they do. They have something to fight for. And when they face setbacks, as they will, they don't quit. They don't throw in the towel. They dig deeper. They push harder. Because they know that their purpose is worth fighting for. Purpose is the ultimate difference. It's what makes the difference between someone who simply survives and someone who thrives. It's what keeps you going when everything else tells you to stop. It's the fire in your heart that propels you forward. Find your purpose. Discover what drives you, and live your life aligned with that purpose. The world needs people who are clear on their purpose. People who are focused, determined, and committed. When you live with purpose, you'll be unstoppable. When you have a mission, there's nothing that can stand in your way. Live with purpose. Live with power. Your future depends on it. And the world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. As we wrap up today, remember this: you are the sum total of the choices you make every single day. Every thought, reaction, every decision leads you closer to your ultimate destination. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. The winners in life don't just chase success. They attract it by becoming the kind of person who deserves it. They become disciplined. They become focused. They become resilient. And most importantly, they live with purpose. So, ask yourself, are you ready to make that shift? Are you ready to separate yourself from the crowd? Are you ready to start living with purpose, to commit to the journey, and to become the person who attracts success? The road ahead won't always be easy. But with purpose, passion, and persistence, it will always be worth it. You've got the power. You've got the potential. And it's time to step into your greatness. Remember, you're not just working for success. You're working to become the best version of yourself. The major key to your better future is you. So, go out there and make it happen. Make the choice to separate yourself from the rest. Be a winner. Live with purpose. And watch your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Until next time, take control of your destiny. And remember, you're just one decision away from the life you've always dreamed of.